Well, hello guys. Welcome back. So, as you guys know, we've been having a lot of trouble with the Mack truck. So, we ended up going and getting financed for a 2017 Kenworth T680. Had the Cummins in it. Had 610 miles on it, 610,000 miles on it. And I was all excited about this truck. I think that UPS man's probably for me. I was all excited about getting this truck, and a lot of people were like, oh, you need to watch out, the Cummins aren't good. And I was always told Cummins were good. So I started to do some research, and it turns out the Cummins ain't as good as people think it is. Like, a lot of cam issues, a lot of fuel pump issues. It's not bulletproof like a lot of these truck drivers think their Cummins is. So I started to get nervous about that. Anyways, before our financing could completely come through and finish up, and if you've never gotten a commercial loan or a commercial business loan for your company, it is an absolute nightmare. That being said, the dealership ended up selling the truck before the finance went through. But he's like, don't worry, I have this other truck, same exact truck, same everything, came from the same company, with less miles. He's like, I'll give it to you for $600 more than what the other truck was. I'm like, okay. But now the finance process has to start all over again. You have to re-sign all the paperwork. You have to wait for approval. Like, it was a mess, starting all over again. While this is going on, my buddy John called me up. He's the one with the white Ford F-250 that started about a year after I did, and he went to work for that other YouTuber, that YouTube couple, Carrie and Justin. I can't remember their Ohio Haulers. Anyways, he called me up. He's like, "Hey, I've got a buddy that might could use your help if you want to go work over there while you're waiting on all this." So I hit him up. Basically, it's building these massive metal doors for these $1 million houses on the beach. Basically, yeah, that's basically it. These massive metal doors. That regular people like you and me can't afford. So I hit him up, and it looks like our trucking career is done. At least for now. We've reduced the insurance on the Mack. We've got the Mack. Oh, that's another thing. Okay, so that was another thing. Is one of the things that the finance company needed was obviously insurance. Proof of insurance on the truck before we drove it away. And let me back up a little bit too. There's my ADHD kicking in. Let me back up. So basically, the finance company wanted to when the finance went through, they wanted me to go ahead and sign the paperwork and then drive up there and get the truck. And then basically the truck's mine without even looking at it. The other option would have been, I was in Knoxville, Tennessee. The other option would have been to drive 8 hours one way to go look at the truck, give the yay or nay, drive home, and then start the financing. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. I mean, that's 8 hours up, 8 hours down. That's 16 hours. That's 2 days worth of driving. I'm like, can't we just get this paperwork like pretty much 99% of the way? And if I approve of the truck, and then we sign on the dotted line, and then basically we can drive the truck home that same day. And that just, I mean, it was like, it threw a monkey wrench in everything. They're like, I don't know how we're going to do this. I'm like, that just seems silly to me. Like, that you guys can't just, like, have stuff ready, and then I could drive up there and look at the truck, and then if I like the truck, it's like, if I drive into the Ford dealership, we drove into the Ford dealership, looked at this truck, we're like, okay, we'll take this truck. All right, sign the paperwork, drive away with the truck. It is not like that with a commercial loan or a business loan. So that threw a monkey wrench into that too. Anyways, We ended up contacting our insurance company, and our insurance company was refusing to remove the Mac off of our insurance. Even though it's paid for, it's 100% ours. They would not remove the Mac unless we have proof of selling the truck or somehow not owning the truck anymore. Because I explained to them, we're like, look, it's broke down. We're not driving it anywhere. We don't need insurance on this truck anymore. Marquee Insurance refused to remove that truck, said that we would have to insure them both. Then you're looking at like almost $4,000 a month for insurance on it, for the two trucks, when we won't even be driving the Mac. So that's another thing that's kind of held up this whole thing, because it's like they were supposed to be trying to contact because Marquee's just a brokerage, insurance brokerage. They were supposed to be trying to contact other insurance companies and trying to like figure out, is there any insurance company that will allow us to just drop the Mac and put on the Kenworth. Our insurance is coming due. Our renewal is coming due. The tag for the Mac is coming due. Like everything is like this is like sink or swim, or like this is the fork in the road. Either we're going to continue trucking and we're going to spend all this money and stay in trucking with the way the rates are. And I made a post on YouTube. Those military trucks that we end up taking, looks like we're going to get screwed on that. About a month ago, I forgot to tell you guys this, but about a month ago, I seen Pilot charged our account for like $2,000. And I'm like, why is Pilot charging my account for $2,000? Well, like I told you guys in a recent video, I think we were up in New York and we were talking about pizza.
Oh, I don't know if I told you guys or not. Roll your window up. Pilot reached out to me, and they claim they're gonna beat my TSD price.
But a guy reached out to me for a fuel card for Pilot, through Pilot. So we signed up for that. We used that once a long time ago. And now we're getting a $2,000 charge when we hadn't used the fuel card in forever. So I go in through the app and I'm looking, and there's 2 charges in Texas in the same day, and there's a charge in Ocolo. I don't know the name of it.
Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
Somewhere in Florida. 3 charges in one day, totaling $2,000. Obviously, it wasn't us. We don't go to Texas, and we weren't in Florida. Our truck's been broke down. So somebody hacked into our Pilot account and used our Pilot app, because you can start the fuel pump on the Pilot app. And somehow they got in through the app and charged $2,000 worth of fuel. So we've been fighting them about that. What's weird is the guy that signed us up for that card lives in Texas. So it's almost like he knows our account information. He knows how to log into our app. What's to stop him from hooking one of his buddies up with, like, log into this guy's account and charge some fuel? There's a lot of shady stuff going on right now. And shortly after we got the email from the insurance company about the broker's bond on those 2 military loads, everybody's been trying to tell me to contact this lawyer. This lawyer made a YouTube video, have you been screwed by Dime Logistics? Give us a call. So finally, I called them up. I gave them a call. I didn't think I'd have to, because the bond company's like, okay, you've been approved for payment, blah, 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 but you're not going to see your payment for like 2 months. Well, now's the 2 months. And now they're like, well, there isn't enough money because the bond is only good for $75,000, and as of right now, they have like $175,000 worth of unpaid loads to carriers. So I contacted that lawyer, and the lawyer's like, yeah, look, this has been going on for a while, but it's really bad right now, and there's nothing we can do about it. Like, there's nothing the FMCSA will do about it. They just keep letting these clowns open these brokerages and screwing drivers over and over. Now, granted, their credit didn't pass, but he said there's a lot of these big brokerages now, too, that once they decide, look, we're not making enough money, we just need to close shop, they just stopped paying trucks. So even if the credit was good enough to factor, and factoring is basically a temporary loan on the load that you're doing, and they take a percentage. If I factor a load and a month down the line from today, that load doesn't actually pay the factoring company takes all that money back. And there's something called recourse and non-recourse, and a lot of people don't understand that either. The recourse means they're going to take their money back. I think that's the way it works. And then the other one is basically, if that brokerage files bankruptcy, then you are not responsible for that load. They take a little more of a percentage off of each load, and I think that's a complete nightmare as well. So he told me there's big brokerages that they're having to deal with that, again, a brokerage only has to have $75,000 worth of insurance to pay carriers if they go out of business. There's companies that have run up $3 million bills, and you split $3 million amongst all the carriers, because that's what they do at the end. So that's what they're going to do with us. The brokerage only had to have $75,000 worth of insurance. We were owed $4,000 for our load, but now that over $75,000 worth of loads haven't been paid, right now it's up to $175,000. They're going to take that money and they're going to divide it amongst all the people that haven't been paid yet. So my $4,000 load is probably, as of right now, is probably going to turn into $500, which won't even pay for the fuel on that load. So we have to deal with that on top of, just the cost of our insurance and everything else. And like I said, my buddy gave me a number to this guy, and he builds metal doors. So basically what's going to happen now is we're going to throw the Mac in the shop. There's supposed to be a Mac guru here in Georgia, in Valdosta, that's supposed to be really good with Macs and Volvos. The truck would have already been in the shop, but the guy isn't from this country. Like, he's super hard to understand. And he's been out of the country on vacation. I don't know where he went. I think he's Spanish descent or Hispanic. He speaks, I don't know, Spanish or Mexican. I don't know. I don't know what he speaks. He had a really thick accent when I called him. Could hardly understand him. Anyways, he's been out of the country, or else the Mac would have already been up there. Basically what I'm getting at is we're going to throw the Mac in the shop. We're going to have the Mac fixed. We're keeping insurance on the MC. We're keeping the least amount of insurance that we need to keep our MC number active, and then we're going to just stop running. And if this doesn't work out, and after the Mac is fixed, we could always just jump back in the truck and jump back into it. But the way the rates and everything are, Lita's been like super unhappy. She, you guys know me. I've always kind of like been frustrated with this whole industry, and how the person that pays for the truck and does all the work is like the last on the totem pole. Like, the broker's guaranteed to get paid. The IRS is guaranteed to make their money off the taxes. The fuel companies are guaranteed to get paid. The shippers and the receivers are guaranteed to get their product and sell their product. But the person that's responsible for the high cost of purchasing the truck and the trailer and the insurance and the fuel and to do the time for the load is not guaranteed to get the load. On top of the DOT completely messing with you all the time. The conditions of the roads, the tax dollars that they steal from us, the parking issue that we have right now. It's like there's not enough parking for the amount of trucks that are on the road. Now you got states and cities like ticketing you if you park on the shoulder of a on or an off ramp. Walmart doesn't want us parking there anymore. Like, all of that on top of the broker screwing you, the DOT screwing you. It's just, the industry is not worth. And you can't say go drive for a company because look what's happening. Look at Yellow Freight. There's a lot of companies that are going belly up right now that aren't paying their drivers either. So it's not even like go work for a company and you'll be guaranteed to get paid, because that's not the case anymore. You just don't know right now if you're going to get paid as the person that does all the work. So, sorry, that's a big long spiel. It's a lot to process. I'm probably messing some things up. I've probably skipped some things or whatever. So basically, we're going to be building metal doors now. They're like, I don't know, they're like $30,000 metal doors. They'll end up weighing about 1,200 pounds after the metal and the glass and everything's been installed. But what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing the fabrication work, which is always a dream of mine. You guys know I love fabricating. I love welding. I love working on stuff. And I get to do it at my house, which is even, I can wake up and walk out and work here and make a living. That's fantastic. If everything works out here, like we're just temporarily working underneath the thing here. If we do a couple of doors and it looks like something that I can do, like I'm not a full-time welder, you know, I may screw this up. This may not work out. There might not be enough money in this, and I might have to go back to trucking or find something else. But it sounds like this is going to be a good deal for us. If it does look like it's going to be a good deal, we're going to move the RV out from there. We're going to go ahead and finish up a shop back there, and we're going to start building the doors back there. The RV, we're going to get these 2 trees removed, which will give us room to park the RV right here where these trees are, and then I'm going to put another RV carport right here over top of the RV right here, and that'll leave this spot open for us pulling the Mustang out or getting the material back to that or whatever it takes. So I'm sure I'm missing something. Anyways, I picked this up on Facebook Marketplace yesterday. Paid $250 for it. It's just going to be a stand. It needs some work. I was going to beat them up on price, and I got there. And I'll include the video. I mean, it looked like the guy could use the money. Like it was a pretty bad situation. Comes with that vise too. I have no idea what this is. I don't know what they used it for. Looks like they've repaired these legs, added some to these legs. The guy was trying to sell some stuff. Plus it came with this. I mean, this is pretty heavy duty. So I figured, you know, with the cost of metal and everything, it's probably worth it. Gonna have to do something different with the wheels. Thought about taking the wheels off, but it would be nice to, especially in the wintertime, if we're under here and we're welding on some doors, we're gonna not be in the sunlight. If we want to push this thing out into the sunlight so we can stay warm when it's cold, I mean, I think the wheels would work out. But it's kind of the guy that owned this, I mean, it's kind of some shoddy work. I mean, that doesn't look as bad as some work he's done down here. And then you can see the plate of this wheel is kicked down, so it's not even touching on this side. But then he threw on a little tack here. So any type of weight, this wheel is going to fall off. It's kind of a little high too. I don't know if this is going to be a good working height for me. So basically, we're gonna work on this, and we're gonna get this to kind of be what we want it to be. You know what I mean? And most of the people that he has doing this, he's got a buddy of mine. My buddy's been working on some doors for him, and he's got another guy that's been working on some doors for him. They've only been doing the fabrication part. We're actually going to do the fabrication. We're going to do the body work on it, and we're going to paint them. So we're going to do, our house will be like a one-stop shop for his doors, and which will make us more money. It'll keep us busier, and I think it would be best. Like I want to do the body work on it, and I want to do the painting on it. So, God, I know I'm blabbing. I don't know how much of this I'm going to put in the video, but this is where we're at right now. You know, we have trailers too that we can go pick up the metal. So it might be a good thing that I still have the hot shot trailer, because we're, you know, he has to For all of his other door builders, he has to go pick up the metal and then deliver the metal to their house. And I'm sure that takes off of like what he pays for the door. But us, we have, you know, the car trailer's finished now. We have the hot shot trailer. We can go pick up our own metal and take the doors and deliver it to him too, because he's been having to go and pick up his doors from the other people because they don't have a means of transporting it either. So we'll go pick up the metal, we'll bring it back here, we'll build the doors, we'll do the body work, we'll do the painting, we'll load it up, and we'll take it to him. And it's a percentage based on how much all these doors are already sold. He's backed up in work for 2 years right now. He has 2 years worth of doors lined up. So that's a guaranteed 2 years worth of work that we'll be able to do. I mean, so that'll be great. Honestly, I'm afraid of failing. I'm afraid of, like, maybe the doors are a little bit too much for me. But I don't know. We'll see. So for now, the YouTube channel for trucking is on pause. And I don't know how much of this life you guys will see, but the channel's not going to go anywhere. We're going to keep vlogging. I probably won't vlog very much on the doors, especially for like the first. I've never done it before. I don't want to be concerned with camera angles and getting the shots and working on videos on something that I'm probably going to be stressed out about and trying to figure out. There's a lot to these doors, so maybe later we'll do some filming here and there, but it won't be anything like what we honestly would normally do. We'll probably take you guys along on whatever else we get into in life, but man, sorry for blabbing so long. Thanks for watching. South Georgia Hot Shot is on hold.